I find my group marketing leads in a variety of locations. First, I always keep a pad of paper and pen on the front seat of my car. I get a lot of ideas from radio advertising, trucks whizzing by me with their signs on the side, and also from billboards. I bring those leads back and I start researching them and follow up on them immediately. Second, I read a variety of newspapers every day. Every day I read a local paper, a state paper, and a national paper like the USA Today. Many new businesses are mentioned in those papers. New ideas emerging from current businesses are usually written up in those papers. And many times current lawsuits that are going on you can read about in those papers. One of my favorite lead generators is the Journal Record. The Journal Record is published in Oklahoma City. It is a daily business journal. Most large cities have these papers. I like this paper because it's what I call positive news. It again tells about new businesses emerging, new ideas being developed, and lots of information in the articles, such as a contact name, if you want to contact that particular company, how many employees are there, what's the wage scale, all the information we need to work a new lead. My favorite way to get ideas for group marketing leads is called the Manufacturer's Register. This is a book that is published every year, and I believe there is a book for every state. You can try to locate these books by calling 847-864-7000. I like the way this book is organized and arranged. It's organized and arranged by towns and by industry. When I'm going into different parts of a state, and perhaps my day is not as full as I would like for it to be, I can open that book, look up that particular town, and have all kinds of new ideas of where to go. Again, it's telling me a contact name, number of employees, wage scale, and the amount of their annual business. What do I do with these leads once I get them? I start researching them. First, I try to find someone who works at that particular company or someone who knows a person at that company. Also, I'll use our local library. The local Chamber of Commerce and the State Chamber of Commerce is a great way to find additional information about companies. I find that the more research I do, the better the result is with my leads. I encourage you to get a list of your leads and start following up on them before I do. The materials I use with the HR director I try to keep to a minimum. The very best material we have to use with the HR director is ourselves. Professional appearance, professional speech, dress appropriately for the industry that we're visiting, our transfer of enthusiasm for the product, the usage that we can share with them of our product. Those are the very best materials we have that we can use with the HR director. Prepaid legal services can be the solution for many problems that an HR director deals with every day, and we can help with many employee issues during the workday. We need to stress that our product reduces absenteeism, improves employee morale, helps retain employees, and can improve the company's bottom line. We also always tell them that we encourage employee usage. The longer the benefit is retained, the more accrued hours the employee has. We have an easy to administer benefit, and it is portable. It can go from job to job with the employee. When setting your appointment with the HR director, be sure to ask for a specific length of time. Then be very conscious of that length of time. Actually acknowledge, I've asked you for 15 minutes, I've used my 15 minutes. They are extremely busy people. We don't want to abuse their time. Prepaid Legal Services has a variety of great materials to choose from. Here are the ones I suggest you use. I really like our black folder. I attach my business card to the outside of the folder. I take a second business card with me to actually hand the HR director for her to put in her Rolodex. I want my business card attached so that this business card is never lost off of this black folder. In the black folder, I include the family plan brochure. I then talk about the legal shield. I talk about the significance of the gold card, why it must be signed before any presentations are actually done. Now, once the gold card is signed, that would be the appropriate time to discuss the particular provider attorney brochure for your state. Now, this is what I leave behind in the black folder. I also include an annual report, and I include the corporate brochure. I leave all of this behind so the HR director has all she needs to help anyone make the decision to offer our benefit. The corporate brochure and the annual report build background and credibility. Remember, your HR director may not be your final decision maker. She needs these two brochures as well to pass on to her president or to her CEO. The last material I would recommend you use is a thank you note. Just a simple personal thank you note to that HR director, thanking them for their time and for their interest in prepaid legal services. I wish you great success in dealing with your HR directors.
Hi, my name is Imelda Kaufman, and I'm going to be taking the next few minutes to share with you what I do in working with a human resource person, and hopefully that will make you as successful as you can be. You know, certainly, first and foremost, you do want to attend your group training schools, and I recommend attending those on actually a regular basis. Things change, and we need to keep ourselves up to date with new materials and new ways to market ourselves. Please read your group manual cover to cover. Learn the ins and outs of this business. Learn the do's and don'ts before you get started. You have one time to make a good first impression. And you know, it's been said that a person will evaluate you in the first 8 seconds that they see you. So you need to make sure, of course, that you're dressed appropriately and you're putting your best foot forward. Now, when I enter into the Human Resources office, you want to do what I call office reading. You want to look around and see if there's something on the walls that is familiar to you, something that you might have in common, such as photos of children, you know, maybe animals, maybe they're a football fan, something to break the ice. And you want to address that very briefly. And that is something that you want to take forward after your meeting to build your relationship. But get right down to work. Sit down, look at this person eye to eye, and start asking a few questions. You know, ask her, you know, hey, do you mind if I ask you a few questions before we get started so I can know how this benefit might fit your needs? You know, someone doesn't care what you know until they know how much you care. So find out a little bit about her, her employees, and her company. Some of the questions that I tend to ask are, what type of benefits do you currently offer? I want to find out, do they offer a lot of benefits? Or do they offer no benefits? It really doesn't matter what her answer is, because if she offers a lot of benefits, obviously she's going to want, you know, our service, simply because this benefit is something that will directly help her company. If they offer no benefits, you want to find out why. Chances are it's a money issue. And considering we go, you know, our best foot forward with a voluntary benefit, then it's perfect for them. So the answer to the question really doesn't matter. You're just getting to know this person and breaking the ice and building a relationship. After you've asked what benefits do you currently offer, you may want to ask, do you financially participate in those benefits? You want to find out, is that company paying for the employee benefits, or are they offered on a voluntary basis? You want to find out what her current hiring needs are. Are they laying off employees, or are they hiring employees? Are they staying status quo? You need to learn what the needs are of that business. You also want to ask her, you know, Mrs. HR, have you ever had to let go of an employee because they just couldn't get their personal life together? They kept bringing, you know, the ex-spouse issues to work, the child custody issues, and, you know, they were taking time off work, they were coming in late. Has she ever had to let go of an employee like that? And typically the answer is yes. And you might want to follow up with a question of, how much does it usually cost you to run an ad, interview, retrain, and get a new employee on board? It's typically thousands of dollars. Now, we do not want to promise that she's never going to have to let go of an employee again. That's not what we're doing here. But what we want to find out is let her know that those everyday life issues that their employees bring to work does hamper her job, make her job harder, and cost the company their bottom line. You then want to ask her, well, Mrs. HR, what kind of everyday life issues do you see your employees bringing to work? And then prompt her with, like unresolved ex-spouse issues. What you want to do at this point is be quiet and listen. Listen to the things that she says that she hears her employees bringing to work. Maybe it's credit issues. Maybe it's landlord issues. Listen, and what you want to do is match what our service does within our 5 areas of coverage to her needs, what's important to her, what she sees the employees going through. So after gathering that information and knowing what's important to her, knowing what's important to the employees, then at that point, then you want to go into what it is that we do. Mrs. HR, you're really going to enjoy this benefit because this is a benefit that will not only help make your job a little bit easier, help your company's bottom line, as well as helping your employees all wrapped up in one. And it's very easy to administer. What we do is give your employees access to top attorney firms in all 50 states with some of those everyday life situations that you just mentioned to me. How we do that is we allow your employees to pick up the phone when necessary and call their attorney about those situations. Actually, Mrs. HR, my job is to get your employees to use this service as much as possible so that they're not bringing those problems to work. We believe that, by using this service, we can try and help prevent the employees from bringing those problems to work and costing you headache, time, and money off your company's bottom line. So we want to encourage them to use this as much as possible. Pick up the phone, call their attorney, find out what they can or can't do about the very situations you just brought up to me. The attorneys will write a letter on their behalf, review all their contracts at no charge. And do you think that some of your employees probably don't have a will? And of course, that's where she's going to come in and, probably even share with you that she doesn't have a will. And that's where you're going to say, absolutely. Mrs. Smith or Mrs. HR, this benefit, the cost is only $15.95 a month. And that your employees are going to be able to get their will done at absolutely no charge, and of course, so would you. At $15.95 a month, Mrs. HR, the entire year hardly covers 1 hour of an attorney's time. And we want your employees to call as much as possible, review those documents. The attorneys will write a letter on their behalf at no charge and get their will done at no charge. Can you see how that can be of a benefit to your staff? I'm going to close her right there at Title I, and I'm going to get a yes. And then I'm going to say, well, Mrs. HR, it does cover other things if you've got the time for me to go into them. Would you believe I've had some human resource people say, nope, that's good enough. And I was able to close them right there and then tell them what we needed, which I'll go into in just a moment. But most human resource people do want to hear the whole package, and you should go over everything that we're covering. So then you're going to say, well, we also will help your employees with moving violations, meaning should they get a moving violation or Junior gets a moving violation, they're to call their attorney immediately and find out if there's something their attorney can do for them. Now, they'll be responsible for court costs and fines, of course, but they're not paying for that attorney's time so that they can get back to work as quickly as possible. Same thing if they're involved in a serious accident and someone's killed. They'll even have hours at no charge of their attorney's time to have a license reinstated. They get an offender bender in the parking lot. Can you see how that's just everyday life issues they're already going through? I'm going to ask for a rebuttal there. I want feedback from her. This isn't just me blabbing at her what I know, but an interactive type of conversation. And then I'm going to say, well, also, Mrs. HR, should your employees get sued by someone, they'll have a scheduled number of hours at no charge to them. And another part of this benefit you're going to like is the longer your employee stays here and keeps this benefit, the more hours they get at no charge. So it's almost like if you've heard of the term, the golden handcuff benefit, the more they stay with you, the more benefits they receive. Well, the longer they keep their prepaid legal benefit up to their 5th year, they keep getting more trial hours at no charge. So that's another plus to the employer. IRS protection. I shouldn't have to say much about that. Should you get that letter from the IRS, just call your attorney immediately and see what he can do to protect you and defray the cost of the audit. Whatever's not covered at 100%, all those things that I mentioned, will be covered at a preferred member rate. And then I always throw in about our amendment, except for using it against you, the employer. And so I cover all those issues, and then I go back to her and say, Mrs. HR, is there any reason you wouldn't want your employees to have this? So that I can ask for any objections that maybe I didn't cover. I'm going to hit those objections and then tell her what I need from her to do the best possible job, which is a required attendance with her staff, only 25 minutes. I will do all the paperwork. I'll show her our application, show her how simple it is. I will do the paperwork for her. The employees will either sign up or sign off while I'm there, and we're done. And then I just ask to come back and see the new employees at that time. It's very simple. It's just a very relaxed conversation of finding out what her needs are, asking some simple questions. You know, she doesn't want you to come in there and tell her what you think is important of our benefit, but what's important to her. That's why those questions are very, very important. So I hope that helps you go forward with all the knowledge that you can gather up before you go into that appointment and be the best that you can be. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Casey Schubert, and what I'd like to do today is walk you through what I take to an appointment for a small business owner or office manager to turn their business into a new group account. What I'd like to do is show you exactly what I take in my presentation folder, why I take it, and then I'll explain later how to use it. First of all, you need to remember when you're walking into the small business owner, you need to be professional. You need to dress professionally, and you need to be completely prepared. Even if you know the small business owner, they may be a relative, it may be your uncle, it may be your best friend. But please remember that you're representing not only prepaid legal services, but you're representing me, yourself, and all of our fellow associates. So let's keep in mind what our objective is in representing our company well. When we walk into a group appointment in a small business presentation, we are taking everything that we need to go from A to Z. And what I mean from A to Z is, I want to walk in, sell them a small business owner's plan, and turn them into a group account. So you can't just walk in with a brochure. You can't walk in just with an application. You need to walk in with everything that you need, because you have to have complete eye contact with the business owner or the office manager the entire time. You don't need to run to your car to get the correct piece of paper. You don't need to shuffle in your briefcase to get the correct piece of paper. You need to have it right here so you are flowing through the appointment perfectly. That's why I think it's important to have these materials in a particular order. So let's walk through what I have. This is the black presentation folder. I use my business card loose right here so the business owner or office manager can put that in their Rolodex for future reference. And then I use the sticker business card right here. The reason that I use the sticker is because I have walked into business accounts that have been called on by prepaid legal associates. They may have left a brochure, left even a packet of information, but there's no business card. The business owner can't remember exactly who it was that called on them. It's been over a year. So what do? If you're stuck on them, as I like to say, with your business card, and you take enough information that they won't throw away, when they may decide to offer the plan 6 months, 9 months later, your name and information is still on the prepaid legal packet. So please, send a loose one for them to put in their Rolodex and stick your business card on here as well. What I have first on this right side is the Business Owner's Legal Solution Plan brochure, because you're walking into the appointment of 100 or fewer employees to sell the small business plan. I believe they're married. I believe the group account and the small business plan are married. They're one and the same appointment. Please don't go in and just sell a small business plan without asking for the group, or vice versa. What you're doing is leaving money on the table for someone else to walk in behind you and pick up. So please take all the money from the table by offering them everything that we have. So I take in and show the small business owner's legal solution plan brochure first. And when you're showing this brochure, and I learned this the hard way, please open that brochure. Let's imagine that you're across the desk from the business owner. Please open that brochure and lay it at an angle as if you are reading and glancing along with them. And it's kind of funny why I do that. If you hand this brochure to the business owner, this is what you'll see for the remainder of your appointment. That's not what you want to see. You want to keep your eye contact and be face to face. So please don't hand them that brochure, because trust me, do it one time and that's what you'll get. So what I do is put it at an angle, position it as if you need to follow along with them, knowing good and well that you know your product well enough that you don't have to, but they don't realize that. So if you'll just keep glancing occasionally at your brochure, they won't take it from you to be theirs. After you've explained the small business plan, next is your business owner's legal solution plan application. It's right there in front of you. Take it out, walk through it, fill out the paperwork, and close that cell. Next, you have your provider attorney brochure. You've got to expect that the small business owner already has an attorney. Most of them do. Most professional small business owners have a lawyer. They had to have one to set up their business and set up their business plan and so forth. So expect that they already have an attorney. So you need to know who your provider lawyer is, and you need to know as much about them as you can. And I suggest that you attend the provider law firm open houses to learn more about the provider in your state. And after they've filled out their application, please give them the provider law firm brochure so they know who it is that they'll be calling for their day-to-day issues. Because when you're talking to them and they have an attorney already, that isn't a time to lose the sale. It is a time to explain how they could use their attorney that they've had for years for more serious issues while using their prepaid legal plan on a day-to-day basis without getting a bill for a simple phone call or a debt collection letter. So they don't have to replace their attorney with yours. So it's just an addition to what they're doing. So please take their provider law firm brochure so they know exactly who it is they'll be working with in the future. Well, look what we have next. It's a perfect lead-in to group. It's there for a reason. It's the family plan brochure. It's the standard plan brochure. I like to use the color placemat brochure because it has pictures of families on it. I call this the mamas and babies brochure because you are talking to this business owner, office manager, and now they're looking at faces. It reminds them of their children or their grandchildren or their spouse, and it becomes an emotional sale as well as a business appointment. So I like to use the placemat brochure that's color with the family on it and have the legal shield flyer inserted in it. And again, same way with the brochure. Please don't hand it to them for them to use on their own. Position it just like this. And remember, don't take a whole lot of time to walk through the whole membership. You want to hit the high points and how it could help that business owner by offering it to their employees, by having the reduced absenteeism and the increased productivity. And if they have vehicles that their employees drive, please be sure and key in on the second major area of coverage, the motor vehicle representation, because those drivers need to know about our plan. So please highlight the benefits to the business owner, not just about the benefits to the employee. And next in the packet is the membership application, and here's why it is there. You've just said to the small business owner, obviously you see the benefit of having a prepaid legal service and having attorneys at your beck and call. And here we have it for your employees as well. So if you have seen the benefit for you, then you obviously see the benefit for them. And how our enrollment works is we simply fill out one piece of paper. It's highlighted. It's simply their name, address, and phone number. So when I come back in next week, Mr. Business Owner, to show it to your employees, I'll take 8 to 12 minutes to walk through the membership. They'll fill out this one piece of paper. And why you want to take this is to show them exactly what it is that you're going to be showing their employees. They want to know what their employees will see, touch, and feel. So you have the brochure, You have the application that's highlighted to show them what is filled out. Then I say, the following day, I bring you a copy of everyone's application and this business report sheet with everyone's name that took the benefit, so your bookkeeper knows who to deduct. Now they know what they get, what they fill out, and what their bookkeeper or the office manager herself will see. Look what's next. It's your gold card. That's all you need now is for them to sign the gold card to give you permission. So you have walked from A to Z with selling them the small business plan and walked them right into signing and approving the gold card. It's wonderful. It's in a perfect order. You don't have to lose eye contact. You just reach for the next piece of paper, and it's exactly what you need. On this side, I like to put my most favorite brochure that we have, which is the Help Wanted HR brochure. This is fabulous, and here's how I use it. Let's say you've walked through, sold them a small business plan, shown them the group benefit, and they have a couple of questions or maybe some objections. I don't know why they'd have an objection, but let's say they do. You want to bring out this Help Wanted brochure, and this is what I do. It is a wonderful brochure, very professionally done, and this is how I use it. I open it up, and I say, if you look at this area right here, you'll see how easy it is and simple it is to administer. The enrollment's simple and the administration's simple. No claim forms, no deductibles, once a month billing, same rate for everyone, portable benefit. You're highlighting why they want to implement it and the ease. This brochure is wonderful. And of course, if they don't understand the benefit of the plan, you have the cost effectiveness on the back. This is a great brochure. And let's say, for example, you showed them the small business plan and they wanted it, but they didn't know if they wanted to set up a group or not, or vice versa. They set up the group, but they weren't sure about the small business plan. The last thing that I like to put here is the magazine article flyer, and here's why. If they need to talk to their partner, or if it's the business office manager needing to talk to the owner of the company, this is your credibility when you're gone. If they are trying to make the decision in your absence after you've made the presentation, they're not going to remember everything you said. They're going to look back through some of the brochures, and this is the credibility on prepaid legal when you're not there to give it. So I like to put the credibility, the simplicity, the authorization form, got to have that, how to administer it, what their employees will see, what their employee benefit is, their small business app, and their business plan. It's A to Z. Everything you need to assume the sale and walk in and close it is in this packet. I hope this has been helpful, and please remember, be professional, be prepared, attend a small business training again, take a refresher group course, be informed, know your product, visit the provider law firm tours, know what you're marketing, know what you're selling, and represent us well. Thank you, and I wish you very much success.
Hi, my name is Mark Brown. I'm a Platinum Executive Director in Prepaid Legal Services. I also work with group marketing quite extensively. I wanted to take a little time on our video to give folks some ideas about recruiting to the group market, to the insurance market. One of my passions in prepaid legal has always been recruiting and group marketing. I think everybody would agree if you have people in your business that sell hundreds of memberships every month, thousands of memberships every year, that's something everybody would like to have. And I wanted to take a little time in the video to talk about some of the markets we can recruit to that you may not have thought of before. And I'll talk about just in general the first market. Now, I'll always preface what when I tell people about this that, I'm not trying to change anybody's focus on what you do. I'm in the networking side of the business and I'm passionate about that. What I do want to do, though, is just give you ideas of some other facets of our business. Group marketing, first I want to tell you about the opportunity there. I believe everybody should go to a group training class at some point. Not trying to make group marketers out of anybody, but what I am doing is want to show everybody the other side of what we do in prepaid legal, which is more or less the direct sales side, if you will, which includes small business and our group plans. And I want kind of marry that all together, really show you how it works. First of all, group marketing. Early on in my prepaid career, as I recruited folks, I would run across people from time to time that just didn't like the MLM side of life. They had been exposed to other businesses before, maybe had bad experiences, whatever. And what I love about prepaid legal is we have another side or another division, if you will, to our business. Although we all can do all parts of the prepaid legal business, we have another side to our business called group marketing, our direct sales, as I like to refer to it. And simply what that means is you can get in front of a group of employees after you've gone to the employer first, showing the employer how you can save them money per employee by offering a prepaid legal services plan as a benefit, as an employee benefit, usually a payroll deduction. Because what it simply does is keep the employees at work more. What most people don't realize is people that are absent from their jobs, a lot of times it's because of legal problems. They're out taking care of wrecks and tickets and divorce situations and child custody and all those kinds of things. Maybe they had a problem with an insurance company or retail product, whatever it might be. They're spending their time trying to handle these problems as opposed to working. We can go in and show an employer how, with a prepaid legal plan offered through a payroll slot at their companies, that we can keep these folks at work because now they can, in most cases, solve their problem or at least get really started with solving their problem by a phone call. What that does is save the company that you would be talking to, money per employee, and that's a good thing for their bottom line. Now, my point in telling everybody this is, although I don't want to necessarily make everybody a group marketer, understanding that side of the business gives you a whole nother field to recruit to. I've got a lot of folks in my business that loved that direct sales side of the business. I would not have gotten them into prepaid had it not been for the ability to have this direct sales market. That's what I want to tell everybody about. One of the things that I'm very passionate about is the insurance market and the insurance side of that. So if you take this broad marketing ability we have and you look at who would offer this benefit, who would be people most suited to offering this benefit, I've found that people from the insurance business are very, very suited to this because in a lot of cases they're already doing this with another product, maybe group life, group health, other kinds of insurances, cancer, dentistry, whatever it might be. If you can recruit those folks and show them how to get started, show them what the income stream can be from prepaid legal, it can be just literally a significant income to you just in overrides. Let me give you a little idea about the insurance market. The insurance industry is fascinating to me because, again, we have folks in that industry that we all know that are in our warm market, so to speak, that we run into, that we do business with every day. What I would like to propose is submitting or showing or exposing our business to these folks because, again, they have a book of business that they're writing. I always tell anybody I know from the insurance business, you know, you need to look at our product because somebody is going to sell our prepaid legal product to your customers, your book of business. You might as well be the one that gets the commission. Let me give you a little background on the insurance industry, where we are today with the insurance industry and why people are a little more readily open to prepaid legal than maybe they were before. I want to give you just a little bit of history of it. I've approached the insurance industry from a lot of different ways over a lot of years. Last 5 to 6 years, I've had a good success with it, but I've had a lot of people turn me down, and a lot of times the reason is they may have an agency or a book of business that they've had for years and years and years, and they just don't hardly consider any other product. They just want to stay with the products they've been offering because they just don't want to take a chance on losing that business through any other product. And again, I've been successful in this, but I've not been as successful as I would have liked to have been. The insurance industry has changed, in my opinion, especially in the last year to year and a half. Here's what's happened, folks, and I know you've experienced this in your own life. Let's just take health insurance. We all know the premiums have gone sky high in the last year or two, especially. Take an agency that writes a lot of group life, or group health insurance. What's happening is a lot of their customers, a lot of their clients that they've had for years and years and years are now seeking alternative medical insurance situations. They're In other words, losing a lot of their customers. Now is no better time in the world than to go into these folks and show them our benefit, because we can a lot of times replace that commission stream that they were getting from the health side with our prepaid legal product. It's just a fabulous time to go into that market. They're losing their renewals in a lot of cases. They're having their contracts rewritten. A lot of things are happening in the insurance industry today that makes it just a prime time for us to go in and offer our prepaid legal benefits, show them how it works, show them how they get paid. And folks, we can do this with their vocabulary, although we're not changing anything we do, but a lot of times what we do is we do it with their vocabulary, so it's terminology and things that they understand. A lot of times they don't like to talk about the multi-level side of our business. Well, that's fine. We can talk about it in their terms, and that's why we've created a department within group marketing to help handle all insurance agents, all their questions, their comments, things they need to have done. We can really support this business is what the point is. So again, I want to just give everybody an idea of what we can do out there on the insurance side and recruiting to the group marketing division, because there's millions of people that these insurance folks, these professionals have access to. In the business they call it, there's millions of insured lives. And we would like to have those insured lives, those millions of insured lives having and owning a prepaid legal product. And I just believe we're going to sell millions of memberships in the next couple of years. It's going to explode like never before. And one of the ways to help do this and to expand and build your business is really looking at this group marketing division, recruiting to that. Again, don't want to change anybody's focus, but just be cognizant of the fact that we can recruit to that market, that the overrides that you will make will be significant. And again, we have an insurance side of it that is even more specific. So really give that some thought, and we look forward to seeing everybody at the next convention.